one of the things I copied from Warren Buffett was the power of having an empty calendar. And, Buffett has more than 80, he used to have actually more than 80 CEOs reporting to him, managing more than a $200 billion portfolio, et cetera, et cetera. If you see his calendar, it's almost completely empty. I think he has more bridge games scheduled on his calendar than anything else in the evenings and weekends. But during the day, he has almost nothing on his calendar. And Charlie Munger is the same way. So these two guys basically built one of the largest enterprises on the planet without being, scheduled by the minute or any of that. And the reason they did that was because they wanted a lot of flexibility and time to read and think and to have control over their schedules. I think one of the most important things money cannot buy is time. And so the first thing is that, the empty calendar is a side effect of being really good at saying no. So if you never get anything else from this talk, I think the thing that you should get is, I hope you get, is being great at saying no. And saying no isn't easy. So, I'll get emails from people saying, Mohnish, big fan of yours. I'm coming to LA for a week from Australia or New Zealand, and could I meet you for coffee? And, of course, the request is perfectly fine because the guy's flying halfway around the world. But I don't do any meetings with any humans other than Warren and Charlie without extremely compelling agendas. And, in that email, there's no compelling agenda. And so, usually my assistant has all the if then else responses when these things show up. So she does not even check with me. And she sends the response that, Mohnish is happy to meet with you at 5:30 a.m. at the south entrance just before the Berkshire Hathaway meeting on Saturday, May 4th. Other than that, he's not available. Warm regards. And a few people show up at 5:30 a.m. at the south entrance. And so we concentrate all our meetings with humanity at that single point and place and time. And so that works out pretty good. So the first thing, clean out the calendar. If I look at like my schedule this week, I think this is the only thing I have on my calendar, this LBS talk. And once the calendar is cleaned out, then everything else becomes pretty straightforward. So the priority with reading is if there is something I am actively researching or drilling down on, then obviously I will set aside kind of general reading and zoom in on that. I read 3 newspapers a day, so that happens no matter what. So the FT, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times, and I read the physical copies of those papers. In fact, all my reading is physical stuff on paper. I do not read on screens. I also don't have many emails coming to me. Almost all the emails go to my assistant, and she's able to handle most of them without any input from me. And a sliver of them that she thinks I should see, etc. I get a folder on my desk at 11 a.m. usually, and that folder has all emails or anything business related that I have to deal with. And usually, some of you might have seen that my responses are handwritten. And by 11:15, I'm done with that folder. So emails, etc., are 900 seconds a day. And then basically, my reading is just a function of if I'm into investment research or some company, which is what I'm doing right now, then I I put that on priority. I mean, the 3 newspapers a day are still happening, and and beyond that, usually all the magazines, etc., I catch up with on airplanes, and books. I have a large number of books that I have in my library that I have not read. I know which ones I want to go at next, and sometimes I'll change my mind. I'll say, okay, let's go read completely different subject. So when I'm looking for reading, I'm quite open. It could be a business biography. It could be some kind of philosophical book. It could be a kind of wide range of stuff. Just depends on what is of interest to me at the time, and that's how we take it from there. But I think the important thing, I think, from all of you, because I think you have the ability, you're like wet clay, you can adapt yourselves, is so one is, get freedom from the devices. So the beautiful thing is someone like Charlie Munger has yet to use a mobile phone, so forget a computer. He has never made a phone call on a cell phone, or received one for that matter, or own one for that matter. And he definitely doesn't have a computer. And what that does for someone like Charlie is, most of us humans cannot do it, is he's blasting through 20 books a week, 1,000 books a year. And if you just remove the devices from your life and other humans from your life, maybe you can get to 5 or 10 books a week. Humans are a big waste of time.